Good time zone, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Iodine. I am your host, Benny, and today we're doing a little bit of writing. Check it out. How's everyone doing today? I'm doing all right. Alright. I still want to do a few more of Eden, I think. Sure, why not? Let's see how this affects my stream. Hey there, Nathan. Welcome in. Alright, let's catch up on what's going on with Naomi and Trey and Eden.
Eden stood next to the table. She wore a new outfit, if the previous one could be called such a thing. This one was a much more reasonable, off-shoulder dress with an opalescent effect that gradually filtered through the color spectrum. It was still somewhat revealing, but not any more than either of Trey or Naomi's outfits. The blood faded from Trey's face as she saw Eden standing.
Hey, have a good night, man. Enjoy your date. And I'll catch you on the next one.
There, but she did her best to keep her composure, trying to ignore her. Naomi, however, did seem to respond to her presence. At first, from her peripheral vision, she assumed Eden was a companion program waiting on them, but when Naomi looked directly at her, Eden smiled. Part of me has very strong feelings about you, though I am not aware of your identity beyond association to Trey. There was little time after Eden finished speaking before Naomi disappeared in a cloud of digital artifacts and errors. Trey yelped and jumped from her seated position on the couch. Ow! Jesus Christ, what the fuck happened? She yelled. Naomi had already jumped up and stepped into the opposite corner in a hostile stance. Who was that? Naomi said sternly. Her voice carried a serious air tinged with an undertone of anger. That was... Trey paused as she saw the crash report for the digital environment they were in. Did she just attack us? Who was that? Naomi asked again, louder this time. That was... Trey started blushing as she paced nervously. That may have been my ex-girlfriend. How did she get into our environment? Naomi clearly wasn't as concerned about Trey's past relationship as she was about the breach in digital security. I'm not really sure, to be honest. Trey wringed her hands, glancing at Naomi. It was obvious that Naomi wasn't satisfied with that answer, but she let Trey continue speaking. She decided to digitize herself years ago, and since then, she's been a little obsessed. Though, from what I understand, that's not too uncommon for digitized people. She's never appeared or spoken to anyone but myself before that, however, and she's never crashed anything like that either. That wasn't her, Naomi said, slightly lowering her stance. It was part of my abort script. Sorry if it hurt. It's alright, I'm not really sure it did hurt, it was just jarring is all. Trey gave a timid smile. I get it though, you weren't really expecting that. To be honest, neither was I, she said, but as she looked at Naomi, her smile faded immediately. Trey froze for a moment, as if she were seeing a ghost, then looked at the floor and continued pacing. I don't imagine you can give me a copy of that script, she said with a solemn chortle. I imagine you're still seeing her? Naomi asked, though she didn't need an answer. It's fairly simple, really. It just cuts all electronic processes and forces Pastro. We could get in, Eden said, whispering it directly into Naomi's ear. She stood next to her, clinging to her side in a deep violation of her personal space. Naomi couldn't see her, however.
The hand, dude. The hand. Ah, that one would be really good. Were it not for the terrible hand. Maybe I'll go in and, hey there, Y. Welcome in. How are you doing? Oh my god. Of course. I didn't mean to do that. Hold on, this is an ice ring. Let's get the mailbox is some fun. Well, I'm glad that you're alive. That's a good thing. No! Cancel. Ugh. Just do this one. Going to be down to 5 degrees Fahrenheit tonight. That's very cold. It hasn't gotten quite that cold in my area yet. Canceling your Petals, Pages, and Stories adventure. Things don't feel safe. Yeah, I'm sorry that you have to cancel that. That sounds like an amazing project. But yeah, I want you to do it during a time when you can feel safe and secure. Yeah, these days are not it. But I don't know, maybe don't think of it necessarily as canceling it. Instead, postponing it. Benny. Bad vibes was rubbing off the stream, and the welcome music was. The welcome music was welcome, but people are losing their tact. Ah, I see. Yeah, I mean, can't really blame anyone for the vibes not being immaculate, you know. But I'm trying to be as positive as I can possibly be. That's very hard in this day and age. Well, with all the murdering of American citizens going on. And I mean, not only of American citizens, there have been plenty of peaceful, non-violent, non-criminal immigrants that have been killed. It's just bad time all around. Yeah, I don't think that's very funny either. Not really doing the Pomodoro thing very well today. Putting some writing prompt on Substack, and someone wrote a short story to my prompt. Awesome! So you've been making prompts, as well as I think you said last time you've been like writing based on prompts. You've been doing a little bit of that. What prompt was it? If you don't mind me asking. Right, you've been doing character arcs. Okay. I think previously when you mentioned prompts, I might have been confused. I thought you were doing other prompts. The mandatory dream: every citizen is illegally required to participate in a communal dream. Every citizen is legally required to participate in a communal dream 1 night per month. Apparently for mental health monitoring. However, your character discovers the dreams are being harvested to fuel an invisible living infrastructure. I like that. That's interesting. Really? Is it not? Not saving the mass capacity? Doesn't appear to be. I flippin' love Cyberpunk. I mean, clearly. Like, even what I have on screen right now is cyberpunkian. Being harvested to fuel. The dreams are being harvested to fuel an invisible living infrastructure. That's great. That's great. How much did they write? In paragraphs or words or however you might quantize that. Was flash fiction cool? Cool. Love it. What if we bring this opacity way down and see how that works? Just doing some experimenting, trying to figure out how to get this crap to work. Oh, that didn't change anything. I wrote a story to the prompt as well. I didn't want the guy's story to be the only one. 2,500 words. That's not bad at all. Did I do it again? No, I didn't. Ugh. So now it's not doing any change at all. Clear opacity up. Save. Ghost in the grid. Awesome. Still not making any difference. I just don't know what to do. Such a good image, but ruined by the hand, and I just can't seem to get the in-paint working. In-painting to work. There's another snowstorm coming this weekend. They're calling it a bomb. Fun, right? Where do they get these names? I agree. There's a snow bomb that's gonna decimate the area. Had a vase to hide the hand. Again, like, in the old version that I was using, the old, I would use automatic 1111. It had an in-painting option that was much more robust, that I was able to understand and actually use effectively. But since I switched to this program, Comfy UI, it is so much better at so many different things, allowing me much more control over a lot of different things. But the in-painting is really, like, it's a good idea to add a vase to hide the hand. I was also thinking maybe just cropping this, you know, like just cropping out the hand, and then rescaling it, which honestly that might be even a little bit easier, but I haven't done a whole lot of the using this program, and I'm afraid it would take more learning and stuff, and I don't really want to do all the learning and experimenting on stream. You know what I'm saying? Ding 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 ding. Ding 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 ding. Boom 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 boom. Naomi couldn't see her. We could get in. I haven't written anything so far today. How about we do that? Yeah, things have been not great in the world. And I basically kind of stopped looking at the news and started drowning it out with other stuff, distractions. Pretty girls, etc. But maybe some pretty boys on your front. But as much as music, definitely music. But yeah, as much as I've been drowning stuff out, I kind of feel guilty. I almost feel like it should be my responsibility as a member of this country and of the planet to pay attention to the news that's going on and to do something about it. I'm sorry to say I haven't been able to join in on any protests in my area. There's one going on tomorrow. I work at night. It's very hard for me to do anything during the day. So when you say make music, are you making the music or listening to it? It has to be one or the other. You can't do both. It's impossible. Composing music for my audio dramas. So you've been ramping up doing that? That's awesome. Have you considered putting some stuff out on like Spotify or for sale, like Just Music? I've been hearing a lot of news about AI musicians getting pretty popular and making a pretty penny. And I think if you can do that, you know, have at it. posting the singles to buy me a coffee. Nice, nice, nice. And how is the, I haven't done any AI music or audio generation at all. So what's that like? I'm sure that's been, like, getting better exponentially, just like the image generation and, text generation has been, right? I don't know any programs, or like, I want to know what some of the big AI artists are like using. Oh. That's a tough instrument to learn. That's pretty awesome. Do you have a violin that you just play? Nice. Awesome. Awesome. I play a little bit of the guitar. Played. I suppose I haven't really done much since high school. And I have a keyboard, and but it's a cheap keyboard, and it's a cheap keyboard from the 80s, like a MIDI keyboard. And man, I don't know if it's the speakers or if it's the MIDIs themselves. Does not sound great. Just trying to figure out how I can get it connected to my computer, because I mean, all that's really needed is the input of like what keys are being pressed, and I can use, theoretically, a computer to just apply sounds to the keys that are pressed, and there you go. It doesn't have to be like anything super special to just get what's, whatever. But it's so old, like, it doesn't. I think I might be able to plug it into my thing here for my mic. I have like an instrument input on my what the hell is it called? Interface. FL, that's Fruity Loops, right? I used Fruity Loops Studio when I was in high school. I bet you would be imagine if it hadn't changed at all since I was in high school. BandLab. I've heard of BandLab. Cakewalk. There's a program called Cakewalk. Is that like modern? Cakewalk by BandLab. That's a questionable name. How long have they had that? What if I did all of my music production in Final Cut Pro? Because you can do like audio layers and stuff in Final Cut Pro, and there's some good audio stuff. Had it for years. Is there online version? Okay. Interesting. And Logic. I imagine that's the same as like Logic Pro I've heard of. Oh, there's so many things I want to do, you know? So many things that I just want to do. I just want to be immediately good at and enjoy it, you know? Like, I don't want to spend 10,000 hours learning how to do music to just, like, make something pretty cool. For a little while, you know? Like, work on it for a little while and do that for a few months or a year or something, and then get back into video game programming and do that for like a year and release a pretty cool little video game. I don't imagine it'll necessarily be hard. The problem is it would be time consuming. And all the time, I'm just always feeling it's like I could be using this time for something else, you know? I'm using this time to try and write something so I can sell something, so I can, you know, make enough money so that I can continue writing, making new stuff. Like, that's where I want to get to. But I even have passions far beyond that, you know? But, like, man. I often think about what I would do if I didn't have to work. The time could lead to something, and that could there. That's part of the issue as well. It's like, yes, I do want to do music for fun, but I don't know if I can afford that, you know? Like, I can't afford to have fun. Yeah. I imagine artists of any variety experience block. But yeah, writing 100,000 words in fiction, it's not quick, especially not for me, you know. Unless I heavily utilize AI, and you can't really do that in this economy. Some W's money. Yeah. Yeah. And I do still utilize AI. I don't know. I haven't been using ChatGPT terribly a lot. But I don't know, now I know there's a lot of discourse about the amount of energy that AI is using, the amount of energy in water, and it is a concern. I can't say that it's not a concern, you know, but like, I really don't think the water necessarily is as big a concern as a lot of people are making it out to be. The reason that it's concerning is, and there are a lot of places, a lot of data centers that get their water from municipal, like watersheds, clean drinking water, and in a lot of places where these server farms are going up, it's causing the water and power prices to like go up, and that's not great. But these are things that can be fixed and resolved and thought about, and but the people in charge are doing what is cheapest. Like, you know, they're spending as little money as they can to try and, you know, innovate in these areas of power and water usage. And that's where the issue comes in, is that these billionaires, these corporations, are the ones that are in charge of it, of, you know, using it at scale. And they don't, yeah, exactly, they don't care at all. Like, they don't, it's not a problem for them. They'll be able to buy their way out of any situation, even if the rest of us can't. And that really sucks. And I kind of am a firm believer that if AI is as useful to humanity as well as these corporations are making it out to seem, it definitely should be usable by everybody. And so far right now, like generally, it has been. The corporations have been using it a lot more, but it is available to just about everybody. Like, even if you can't use ChatGPT, or you don't, pay for Grok, or wait, you don't pay for Grok, right? It's just on X. You can do offline stuff. Like, you can find models and programs that are completely free and open source, and you can use it on your own computer that doesn't have, or has like a closed water system, so you're not using all kinds of water. And if you're connected into a solar grid, like I've got solar panels on my roof. That offsets like all of the power that I use, and whatever I don't use, I actually get back in subsidies from giving it to my local government, and they pay me for it. Like, so I'm not using fossil fuels as power, and I know not everybody has access to that. And again, it's because billionaires don't want to put in the effort to do that. To invest in renewable energies. They keep wanting oil. Oh my god. And everything leads into everything else. But if AI is useful, then everybody should be able to use it. Like, and it's a lot of the people that aren't in corporations. It's mostly individuals that are railing against the usage of AI. There's a lot of good reasons, even just beyond the power and water usage. Like, what's an off-grid system? I don't trust my electric company. They keep changing the credit system. That's fair enough. And that is awesome that you've got an off-grid solar system. That's so cool. Like, good job on that. Good job. But like, part of me also almost thinks that like this, all the railing against artificial intelligence, a lot of it does have, a decent amount of merit. But I also feel like this railing against the against AI is exactly what corporations want. They want as few regular people using AI as possible, so that they can use it, so that they have an advantage, and yeah, it's permeated everything in society, which, as a science fiction author, I think that's like thematically pretty cool. Like, it's kind of badass in like a cyberpunk way, but it's also really, really bad. And also, I guess, a cyberpunk fiction way, in that corporations definitely have the power over everybody with the AIs that they're using. Like, and the AI itself is getting so powerful. I watched a video a while ago about a guy's prediction about how AGI is going to work, and the coming AI Cold War between all the different world powers, two of the primary ones, United States and China. Our AI is getting so powerful and doing our bidding and starting to maybe attack each other, fighting over resources and and someone in chat accused me of using AI, so I wrote a complete story from the prompt they came up with. It took 4 hours and the person remained on stream. When I finished, they tipped me $50 on your coffee site. Nice. That's awesome. Boom, 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 boom. Is the Rock Collector. I think I listened to that one. Continued. Hey, I wrote 2 words. If we wanted to. Let's ignore the writing for a second and look at my playlist. I'm gonna put a song. It's called Esperanza from Hermanos Gutierrez. I first heard it from I'm pretty sure it is a licensed song, so I'll probably be muted for it in the VOD. But it's very good. Oh, it's so good. Chalice Hymnal. Yes, let's add that to queue. Eyes of the Temple. I first heard it on, oh, Blood Rain. Let's add that to queue. It's a show called Pluribus. Very, very good show. Oh my god. Some of the best science fiction I've experienced in a while. And this song is in it. It's very good. Entirely instrumental. Good vibes. I mean, kind of melancholy vibes, but let's turn it up. Ooh, a toll-free call. Let's see what that toll-free call is about. Rachel, so Carmen del Reyes y Finance, con una llamada de segmentos sobre la transferencia. La transferencia pendiente se cuenta. music, guys. Bring it back down a little bit. Okay, we have written something. Leon! Alright, I'm gonna continue for 15 more minutes-ish. Can I say 15 minutes? do do. Do do do. Dang it, I didn't want to do that. How much information do I have on Estrella Perez? Do.
Estrella's life took a tragic turn when her partner, Eden Hunter, made the irreversible decision to digitize her consciousness without Trey's consent. This event left Trey devastated, especially after she discovered Eden's lifeless body, which triggered a deep-seated trauma that continues to affect her to this day. Despite her grief, Trey has managed to build a successful career as an OTEC ship mechanic, although the shadow of her past relationship lingers over her, especially since Eden's digital presence now stalks her through her BSI. This haunting connection complicates Trey's attempts to move on, as Eden's disembodied consciousness continues to interact with her, attempting to rekindle the love they once shared or convince Trey to follow her into the digital realm.
Yes, Persephone. We met in school. Oh, sneezy. She was headstrong. And mischievous. Come on, how do you spell mischievous? Chivos. Whatever, man. A psychopath. Not that I look back on it. Tell her about the time we evacuated me. Who's the head of a university? Now copulated. Definition. In the Chancellor's personal transport. Ian said. Alright, well, I think I'm going to go ahead and call it there. Made progress, if slow. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you are on YouTube, make sure to like and subscribe. Check out patreon.com/BennyKill709 or buymeacoffee.com/BennyKill709. If you want to support me, BennyKill709, for whatever the heck it is that I do here. Thanks again. I hope you have a good rest of your time zone.